everyone. Welcome back to our next installment in our Q&A for our Masterclass teachers. Today we have Fredena J. Williams with us, and we're super excited to hear more about her. So if you'd like to intro yourself, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Fredena J. Williams, and I am very pleased to be here and happy to answer your questions today. I have been in the entertainment business, acting and singing for over 25 years. So that's quite a while, and I am very excited to answer your questions and help other people come into the business that I love.
Great. So how old were you, when you started getting involved in the arts?
I was 10 years old. The first I sang in church choir, but as far as acting or doing anything theatrical, I guess, I did summer programs when I was in elementary school. I famously played Cinderella in the Cinderella spoof. I think I was in like the second grade, but my real kind of, I guess, baptism into it, really cute story. And so my mom, my chorus teacher in elementary school, actually told my mom that I should go and audition for a musical called Annie at a local community theater. And so my mom thought, well, they're never going to cast her because she's this little black girl. And so she said, of course, this is 30 years ago, or a little more than 30 years ago. So my mom said, this will be a great life lesson. And so off we went to the audition. And there were 370 something little girls there auditioning that day.
Wow.
And on the audition form, it said, what role are you auditioning for? I turned to my mom and I said, what role am I auditioning for? I said, what do you want? I said, Annie. Mom said, write that down. And so when I got up to audition and they said, what are you auditioning for? I said, Annie. And they started laughing. And I bowed my head and I ran off the stage. And my mom picked up her purse and said, my work here is done. And she walked out to the parking lot. And I was crying and I said, why did they laugh? And she said, well, they're never going to cast you as that. But that's what happens in life. And I said, but they shouldn't have done that. And Mom said, you're right, but this is what life is. And I said, well, I want to go back in because they shouldn't have laughed. And Mom said, then let's go. And we went back and I went back up on the stage. And so they said, what part are you auditioning for? I said, Annie, and you shouldn't laugh.
That will teach them a lesson.
And I want to say I was 9 or 10, but very long story of this short. I did not get Annie, but I did get one of the 7 speaking parts. So nice. I was Duffy. There were 75 people in our cast. There were 30 orphans. The director really believed in it needed to look real, not just little 7 girls. So there were 7 talking girls, but there were 30 in the orphanage.
Yeah.
And I could have very easily have been one of those 30.
Right.
But she saw something in me. And she later told me too, it was my determination that, I'm not going to be belittled and you shouldn't laugh. And that was, really ballsy for a kid my age to say to a room full of adults and to other kids around.
Definitely.
So, but that's just kind of how my mom was. She just, okay, you're going to learn this lesson. Cause she was like, you want to go get ice cream? I said, no, I want to go back in.
Right.
So,
yeah.
That was when I was introduced to it. And that director was very influential in helping me find what was special about me, in the fact that she just said, there's something special about you. She was just the local director in town, one of several, but she saw something in me. And though I did not go to the school that she taught at, every time there was something to be done that was special, she picked up the phone and called my mother. and said, you need to be here.
Mm.
So
Yeah, it's those relationships that just mean the world. You don't forget them.
no, you don't. You don't.
So when did you start working professionally?
I started working professionally when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
I went to school, went to New England Conservatory of Music. I was a classical vocal performance major. I wanted to be an opera singer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was for a little bit. I had a small career over in Europe.
Dabbled.
But so I actually started singing professionally while I was in college. And by professional, I mean I was getting paid for it.
Okay, nice.
So, but then when that part of my career stopped and then I started going more into theater, I actually had just finished my opera career, came home, and was not doing well, was not physically doing well. So I was just home to sort of recoup and decided to go back to that community theater and started in theater again, from going from a professional opera stage, and then decided, you know what, this is what I want to do. And so I then started going to professional theater auditions. And
I've heard lots of horror stories about some of those.
well, I mean, it's cattle call, and I was like,
Right.
what in the world, because as an opera singer, I at least get to go in and sing an aria.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, what do you mean I have 90 seconds to sing a song and say a monologue?
Yeah.
Or sometimes when you're in New York, as a professional actor, and there are hundreds of people in line, they'll say, give me 16 bars or 8 bars, or your 1 minute monologue now has to be 30 seconds. And so what?
Like, how do I even?
Right. But I mean, that happens, and that's the business. So I started auditioning through those cattle call mass auditions. And also at that time, sending out VHS tapes and headshots and resumes to theaters all around the country. And this one director in Rock Island, Illinois, of a dinner theater, Circa 21, actually put in my videotape by chance. He had stacks of hundreds of tapes in envelopes in his office that he had never opened. But he happened to have opened mine and saw it and sent it off to the director. And the director said he saw the first 30 seconds of my tape and picked up the phone and said, call her, hire her. So,
wonderful.
And he and I are great friends to this day. So the producer and the director as well. So, I just decided that this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And though at the time I was doing community theater and there were shows coming up that I wanted to do, I decided that I wanted to do this professionally. And just as in my opera career, if you pursue something, for me, if I pursue something in a half-hearted manner, I'm never going to be happy.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to achieve the success that I want to achieve. So I said to community theater, I love you and I will come and support when I'm in town. But I've done everything that I want to do here. Now I want to try to do it professionally. And so I've never looked back. And that was, 17 years ago now. So, and then, but I had my opera career before that and my singing career. So,
So do you have any advice I know you mentioned like going to these auditions and just sending your name everywhere it can be put, but any other specific advice for breaking into the industry?
Research. Really know the business, because there's business. I had a teacher that once said it's business and craft. And, you have to know the business. You have to know the industry. So you need to know what's going on in the industry. You need to know who the movers and shakers are. But you also need to know your craft, because knowing people isn't enough. Because you can know people, but if you come through the door unprepared, That's not going to get you anywhere. So you have to really know your craft. And so that's why I'm glad to be here, today, answering questions and working with students, because it's all about finding something that works for you and developing your craft. So my advice would be to continue to study and work on the craft and really embrace what you love about it, because in this industry, it's a hard industry, and
Yeah.
you're constantly hear no, and you have to be prepared to hear no.
Hmm.
But when you hear no from someone else, you have to know that that no just cleared the way for the yes that is coming.
Hmm.
And so in breaking into the industry, people think it's going to be instant.
Right.
I have YouTube fame. Now I'm going to be famous.
Yeah.
And that may indeed in some places get you through the door. Will it continue to propel your career? No, because once you get in that door, you have to prove what it is that you can do.
Right.
So, because the public is very unforgiving that way, they will tell you that
Yeah.
what you did was not good.
Yeah.
So, the more you know the industry and research, and know that so much in this industry is available to you for free.
Yeah.
Like this workshop, you don't have to pay for an agent. The agent, the incentive for the agent to work for you is when they get you the job, they get paid off of that.
Yeah.
But you don't have to pay them. And
Yeah.
that's something that a lot of people don't understand. Well, I had this agent and I had to pay for them. No, no, no. You don't have to pay for an agent. An agent gets paid when they get you the work, but
Mhm.
you have to be the type of product that can actually get the work.
Bring in work. Right. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. YouTube University, you can learn just about anything these days. There's
Yes, you
so
can.
much out there. And also kind of on the idea of honing your craft so you're ready when you get these opportunities.
Mhm.
If there's like one mistake or a few mistakes that you see young actors often make that you wish they knew, is there anything that stands out, do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I would say the one mistake that I see young actors make, and I know because I've made it.
Mhm.
So let me make it and tell you not to make it,
Mhm.
is not embracing who you are and what's special about you. Imitation is the highest form of flattery. However, I built part of my career being able to imitate other people. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, when you go home or you open up a paper, and back when people were reading actual papers, you open up a paper or you click online and you see a review, and it says she was just like the person who originated the role. Well, great, but I'm not them.
Right.
And what did I bring to it? And then I had to discover that what got me the job was not always my ability to imitate someone else, but
Right.
my ability to do what I do.
Mhm.
And the awards that I've been nominated for, or awards that I've won as an actor, are the ones where I said, I can't be that person.
Right.
I can only be Fredena in this role. I can give you the essence of, because that's what you expect.
Mhm.
But I'm going to be Fredena and do the things that I can do.
Right.
So, especially in musical theater,
Mhm.
embracing, here I was, this operatic soprano, getting cast in roles that were traditionally for altos.
Mhm.
And because that's what physically people thought my type was.
Mhm.
But I said, you know what? I don't sound like that woman. I can't do what she did, but I can do what I can do.
Right.
And because I embraced who I am, people take notice. And so I think for young artists, they're at a great time now that you are in a society that really wants you to express yourself as an individual, to
Yeah.
really lean into that and embrace that, so that people, when you when you walk into a room, that you command the room, and you as an actor command the material. Don't let the material command you,
Right.
because you're trying to fit into some box.